Hello, guys. Eric Goldman, Bailey Meyers. We're going to discuss Miss Marvel Episode 2, Crushed. A quick catch-up if you don't know. We mentioned it last week, but with Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel coming out on the same day and being annoying because there's too much content, we're going to finish the Obi-Wan season, has our live show on Wednesdays. These Miss Marvel episodes will be pre-taped until Obi-Wan ends next week, and then after that, the last couple episodes of Miss Marvel will be back with live episodes. Disney Plus makes it complicated. We figure it out. Full spoilers for this episode, so if you haven't seen episode 2 of Miss Marvel called Crushed, we're going to spoil for you. 3, 2, 1, we are now in the spoiler zone. What did you think, Bailey, of the second episode of Miss Marvel?
Thought it was good, Eric.
Yes, that's it. Thanks for joining us.
All right, cool. Good. Yeah, good app.
Yes.
I really liked it. I really liked it. I think it did a good job building on her personality, which we already got a really good taste of in the first episode. I feel like we have gained a real understanding at this point of what her struggle is, which it seems thematically her struggle is the world keeps telling her who she's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Even with her new superhero persona, someone else comes up with a name for her, and Nightlight. And,
yes.
And so I have to imagine by episode 6 of this 6-episode series, we're going to get her, we're going to see her have the opportunity to tell the world who she is, rather than the other way around.
Yep. I really dug this episode too. I watched them back to back initially and love them both, but I like this one even more. And I think it's really nailing, what it's going for, which is being a teen comedy meets superhero, because it's a good, likable teen comedy. Like when they cut to the title card after she's like, we're going to that party because the hunky new guy's going there, I'm like, I'm in. I love teen stuff about little teen crushes. And again, Aman Vellani, we'll praise her, I'm sure, every week, how good she is. She really kind of nails that energy and vibe. So I'm like, this would be a likable high school comedy if it wasn't a Marvel show,
yes.
You know?
She's so dorky and so likable. I like we had that sort of like Mean Girls Guide to the Cafeteria moment at the Eid Festival, and it's just been so fun. I think that she has, I mentioned this to you earlier, I think she has the most potential romantic interests of any superhero I've seen so far. Usually there's like one clear romantic interest, but her, I can think of like 3 possible ones in this show already, and we have yet to see what episode 3 brings us. Maybe they're just going to introduce a new one every single episode, and then at the end she gives a rose to one of them, and it's a totally different kind of show than we expected.
That's an ABC show. There's Disney synergy. I like it.
See? Yeah, I mean, they do reference one of their properties in every single one so far. Mulan last time, Star Wars this time.
Yeah, they'll get it all in there. This show, both the vibe of the show and her performance nail confident dork. And like the opening where she walks in feeling all cool, and it's a replay of how the first episode opened, but now she's got that confidence, yet she's being like funny, cringy at the same time. It's great. It's so good.
So good. It reminded me of Peter Parker right after he got his powers, especially with the basketball thing.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was a little bit, it felt like an homage to me, but I don't know. Maybe I was just reading too much into it. I like that we got confirmation that the AirPod girls are in a relationship.
Yes.
So I thought that was very cute.
It was.
But you don't need to stand that close to each other
to
make them work. She's right. She makes a great point.
She could have gone a full emo Raimi Peter Parker and done some finger guns.
I think we have to wait for episode 3 for that.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. You have to build. They did a classic trope in this episode that's always fun. The training montage.
Yes! I love a training montage.
Gotta love a training montage.
Especially when it's to a banger of a song. That was so good.
Yeah. Actually, all the song choices on this show are great. I can't remember if I mentioned on the show last week or just in the office how I cannot get The Weeknd's Blinding Lights out of my head.
Oh, I love that song.
It's a great song anyway, but the use here. But yeah, the training montage I thought was super fun. As far as just like, her like finding out she's not physically strong as part of it.
I think that's good. I don't think all superheroes should have to be very like she's strong. Like I don't think she should have to be physically strong to be a strong female character. I like how she is working on gaining control of her powers, where she sort of has it, but that kid might have broken his leg. And also she looked like a blue-nosed Rudolph at one point in class. Like she's getting the hang of it, but she's not there yet. And I like that it's taking her time. I like that she didn't get it right away, you know?
Yeah, and I know as much as I know it's going to be a debated thing about like that they changed her powers from the comics, but I actually like what she calls amusingly hard light, but the whole like these sort of like discs that she can walk on. It's different. It's not like, oh, we haven't seen that a million times. So
yeah,
it feels cool.
It feels unique. Like again, like you said, there's been a lot of discourse about the change in powers, but I think that it's ultimately been for the greater good. This feels more in line thematically with her character because she's so creative.
Yeah.
And so being able to literally create feels much more her. And also it's just something we've never seen before. Like you said, like she brings something unique to the table.
Yep. And she got her inspiration watching Bruno play a video game, which was too quick and we didn't have time to go back to try to identify.
I don't know.
Tell us in the comments if you is it real? We don't know. Was it a mock-up? It was too quick for us. There's actually an interesting thing that also happens here with Bruno, who I get is like kind of conveniently a genius for the TV show, but that's okay.
I love that. You always need a guy in a chair.
You need a guy in a chair, and he figures out because he's a genius that the bangle didn't give her powers. The power was within you all along, but it's actually important. Like, you know what you say?
He got that from that app he was using, which I need that app. I need to find out what the source of my powers are.
Not from Bangle.
Apparently not.
But it does, and you know, her reaction is very funny, where she's like, "Am I his guardian? Am I related to Thor?" But it certainly opens up. First of all, it is a nice thing to be like, oh, it's not like here's the magic doohickey that give you your powers.
Yeah.
It opens up huge questions for what I put is she alien, mutant, or inhuman? I think those are your main choices. Alien would also be Asgardian. I don't think she's really Asgardian. Then it's like, is this we're going to keep asking, are they introducing mutants until they do? Because eventually they are.
But see, I don't think it's that, because we keep getting these hints, more than hints, I think, straight up implications that this is a genetic thing. This has happened before. Her great grandmother.
Right.
I think we can safely assume from the story we got that there was something going on there. The fact that the bangle is a family heirloom and the mom clearly knows something. Like, this feels like something we've never really seen before.
Right. Or will they circle back to Inhumans, which she is in the comics, which were like, initially we're like, there's no way, because there's a terrible TV show about Inhumans that Kevin Feige clearly wanted nothing to do with, but then he swerved us by putting Black Bolt, even an alternate one, in Doctor Strange 2. So could this be their tiptoeing back in? I don't know. Maybe. It feels like it's got to be. I feel like mutant or inhuman only because, like you said, it is saying there's sort of the genetic thing here, and I don't think it's going to be something that was never in the comics. So something in mutant, and something will come out of that.
Turns out she's actually a Skywalker. So.
That's it.
Her power is his power.
Yes. Somehow.
The less about that, the better.
Yes. So then we met her hunky new classmate, Kamran, who she had a huge insta crush on, a new love interest potential here. What do you think of the introduction of this character? And obviously we got thrown for a twisty twist at the end here with his mom and what's going on with him. Yeah. I mean, obviously I was very charmed by him. He's very charming. Sure. It works. It would have worked on me as a teenage girl. It works on me now as an adult human. But I didn't trust him because the second he let her drive his car, like the second he let her drive his fancy car, I was like, I don't trust this guy. There's no chance some teen boy with a car that fancy would let some random girl he just met who doesn't even have a license swerve around in it and not be freaking out the whole time. There's something up. And I was right. Yes.
It was a red flag and I was correct.
There was a red flag there. And also, again, circling back to how the show does like teen story dynamics well, it's like when he got everyone's name right except for Bruno, that was a very funny moment that I'm like, okay, yeah, that you could just make this a high school love triangle and it would work very well.
It feels very much like primarily it is a high school teen comedy, drama, and then the B plot is her superpowers.
Also superpowers.
Which I really enjoy, actually.
Because it's a good high school comedy. Yeah, I think that's like kind of that's the key there. And then it's like, again, I'm gonna say a little bit of comic book spoilers here, but it's like Cameron, it's like in the comics, again, circles back to Inhumans. I don't necessarily think that's what's going on, especially with him, but his mom, again, being part of like a bigger deal. I'm curious where that's going, because I don't think that is from the comics with his mom directly. So
she's very mysterious and beautiful. I'd love to know more.
yes, and you shall know more.
I'm excited.
Also, we got them bonding over Bollywood movies.
Yes.
Which was really fun. And they got the Kingo mention in from Eternals.
Yes, we gotta throw in a little bit of Kingo. If you have established an in-canon Bollywood star, and then you have a conversation about Bollywood movies, it is such a missed opportunity to not bring up Kingo. So I'm glad they did.
And they leaned into it because they did the... I think it's him who says, "Oh, my mom had a huge crush still on Kingo Senior," because we know there's only one Kingo. But his whole ruse is working. Kumail was also on Obi-Wan this week, so it was just like Disney Plus.
Oh, that's right.
Coming together there.
On that synchronicity.
All that synchronicity. Also, there was a funny mention of Ant-Man at the beginning, when she's talking about trying her powers out. I'll plug my interview that you can watch on this very YouTube channel.
Wow.
With the creators of this show, where Bisha, the head writer, she mentioned how much she loves Ant-Man, which is why she loved having Ant-Man be the reason that they all know about stuff. And she said, look for more Ant-Man mentions, and here was one right away.
Yeah, it seems like there's been one in every episode so far, so I'm excited to see more.
Right.
Anytime you're going to reference Paul Rudd's youthful glow is very funny to me.
Which they've never done, It's like, I don't even know if any Paul Rudd movie or TV show has done that. Has actually been like, this guy does not look like he's in his 50s.
Like, you guys see this too, right? He looks so young. There's a lot of firsts in this show. I mean, we saw some underage drinking.
Yes.
On a Disney Plus show, granted unintentional, but the alcohol was at the party.
But her "Am I Drunk" was adorable.
It was so cute.
Right. Yes.
God bless. Probably girl, actually.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's weird for the guy at the desk to be the first one to mention this, but also the MCU's first tampon scene, which on the heels of Turning Red, seems like we're in a new Disney era of being like, this is how it works for people. It's okay to talk about it.
Acknowledging the existence of half of the population of Earth and what we deal with for literally a quarter of our adult lives.
Yes.
And child lives, actually, too.
I thought that was actually great as far as just feeling like real and natural. And then also, I think we mentioned it last week. Again, I'm forgetting what we said when we were filming versus not. Mm-hmm. But Nakia, her other best friend, didn't have a lot to do in the first episode.
Yeah, she was so present in this one.
In this one, we got like way more. What did you think of what we got to see about like sort of her POV?
I love her. I think that it's clear Disney wants someone to offer a specific connection to Kamala's community in the mosque, and I think Nakia is much more in that world than Kamala is, so we have more of that perspective. I think that she's great.
Yeah.
I think that I would vote for her. It seems like she knows what she's talking about. I'm furious someone stole her Versace shoes, although if you know there's a shoe thief and they've stolen 26 pairs, why would you bring your Versaces? Like, that's just common sense, Nakia. If you can't figure that out, I don't know how you're going to be at running the board or whatever it is.
Right.
But I believe in her.
Yeah, no, I think she's great. And I also think, it just all feels like real, sort of like real. And again, I'm using the same terms, but like naturalistic, because look, we know a certain sect of people are going to be like, woke SJW the second they mention anything about non-white people issues.
Yeah.
But I think the way she talked about it, about like, even like, how, always feeling I'm too white for some people and too ethnic for others. It's like, and her delivery, she's really good, the actress, as far as like delivering, like, I've just put up with this crap my whole life. I really liked that. And I really liked her dynamic with Kamala. And again, circling back to like the, just the fun back and forth, like even they have a silly thing where she goes, do I look like a 90-year-old man to you? And she's like, sometimes.
It was so funny and cute.
Yes, I know.
I love them together.
We like this show a lot, great. So we're just gonna keep being like, oh.
Yeah. We're just gonna keep saying like, that was adorable. I loved that.
That was really cute. Do you watch Rami?
No.
Okay.
I've heard great things, though.
It's really good, and it just goes to show you, like, me thinking in my pop culture life, and I watch a lot of stuff, I've, like, rarely seen, like, just a, like, here's what it's like for people who go to a mosque, and here's what except for Rami and now this show.
Oh, and we are Lady Parts, too, which for a specifically female perspective, I recommend that so wholeheartedly. It is a great show.
And May, oh God, I'm going to massacre her last name because there's, like, a lot of A's and Y's. May Kalamaway from Moon Knight, who was also on Rami, sat next to me at the the Miss Marvel premiere, and she and her friends cheered a lot when they saw the Sheikh at the mosque scene because he's on Rami. And I was like, I recognize him. I was like, oh, he's the uncle on Rami. But yeah, I really like all that stuff with, like, them at the mosque, and then also that sort of the big, like, street fair thing at the end, where they're and like you mentioned, that's where they do the 10 things I hate about you.
The classic teen 10 things I hate about you, Mean Girls, Welcome to the Cafeteria, here are the different cliques. And I thought the names are all very fun, especially Illuminantes. I thought that was so clever.
Illuminantes was great. And I think it's funny, there's a couple moments in this episode that I think people probably think, oh, they're having fun about MCU stuff that I don't think was meant to be. It just happens to be. So, like, the Illuminantes was one where I'm like, I don't think that was because Doctor Strange was doing the Illuminati. I think they just thought it was a cute name. Yeah,
you come up with that pun, you use that pun, regardless of if it's somewhere else in the MCU.
Yeah, and then the other part I saw some people were very upset by, some people were amused by, some people were in the middle, was during the training montage, they do the part where she slips off one of the discs and she's like, just let me go. And people were like, thought that was a very specific parody of Black Widow's death, which I didn't even think of because that is a trope, just the let me go. No, you know, like that having a moment of, are you going to let me go or not? So I'm like, yes, it happened in Endgame, but guys, it's happened in a lot of movies and TV shows.
I'm losing my mind at the idea that they saw that death scene and went, you know, it would be funny.
Yeah, I did not. I literally don't think that came into their mind. And when it was pointed out, they go, let's just do it because, again, people have seen this scene in other stuff, guys. Like, it's, you know, trust me.
Like, it was cute and funny. It was a cute play on that. And then she only went down like 2 feet. Like, it was not a reference to Black Widow's
I don't think
death.
they were mocking Black Widow's death. I don't think it was meant to spit on Black Widow's grave. I think we're good. I like that got you a lot.
I'm like losing the things people think sometimes. I'm like, I don't know, like, why would they do that?
I know. Like, again, because I watched the episode and I didn't even think about Endgame. I just thought, oh, they're making fun of that trope. Funny.
Yeah.
And then it was like, no.
Didn't make that connection at all. But there are some people out there who
But I looked on the Miss Marvel hashtag this morning, and that's where some people went. That's where it goes. By the way, behind the scenes, I just want to mention, I try to mention this up front, but I forgot. This episode was directed by Mira Menon, who's directed for a lot of TV, For All Mankind, The Magician's Glow. Glow, I miss you. But I felt so proud of someone I've never met or even heard of until this morning, which is the writer Kate Gritman, just because I'm like, I wonder what else she wrote for. And she had 0 writing credits on IMDb. Her big credit was assistant to Benioff and Weiss on Game of Thrones. So good for you, Kate Gritman. This was a great episode of TV as your first big thing. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing,
isn't it? It's I realized one thing we haven't talked about at all. We talked about what happened with his mom at the end, but we didn't talk about the lead up and Department of Damage Control.
Yeah.
And what their role is in it. What did you think of? We got 2 big scenes with them, which is them questioning Zoe, and then them chasing her at the end.
Well, I think that my guess last week that thanks to shifting cultural understandings of governmental authority, we're getting sort of a new take on that, and more sinister take was correct. I think they showed themselves to be about as sinister as you could assume them. Like what do they want with her? And also they're a little racist.
Yes.
And like just manipulating teen girls and like trying to it's so scary. Like, I'm very worried about her.
Yes. No, I thought it was really interesting because, well, certainly Deaver she seems like she sucks. Because they clearly, the guy we knew, the one who was in Spider-Man No Way Home, he was the one who didn't seem psyched when she was kind of getting racial on it and was like trying to be respectful. So it's like I think that they're going to show a little bit of a dissension in the ranks as we go forward about their methods.
I hope so. Yeah, Alyssa. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Is it Reiner?
It's Alyssa. Yeah, Reiner. I'll say Reiner. Rainer.
We're doing a great job pronouncing people's names across the board today. So let's perfect. Let's just hit everyone. I'm Bailey. Let's see. She does a really good job playing jerks. I feel like she's often like typecast as that. I'm sure she's a very nice lady in real life, but I remember her character on Orange is the New Black had a very similar sort of like person who's in charge who does not care about who only cares about the end results and doesn't really care about the people it affects.
Right.
And so it's interesting to see her take that same type of role, but spin it in a superhero way. And I hope she does not succeed. I can't imagine she will. That would be a wild end to this show, is just she gets what she wants. The government captures Ms. Marvel and steals her powers. I don't know what they're going for.
That would be a setup for the Marvels for the movie next year, but I don't think that's what they're going to do.
Probably not.
I would hope not. We must protect Kamala. No, it was, they're definitely using them in this very insidious way. And then again, it's like, like you said, it's because I'd already seen the second episode. I didn't want to say, you're right, you're absolutely right, but I knew you were right. So I was like, because also it's like, yes, it bleeds into our real world. Even the fact that he's like, FBI is already surveilling mosques. But now it's like, they're going to add this onto it, so I think it's always, I know it's a fine line how much you bring like real world stuff into these things, but I think that they usually handle it pretty well. And like, this was a good case in point because it's like, it's dealing with sort of real world issues in the superhero realm. And then people pointed out, like, if you're looking for your Easter eggs, those drones they have are almost certainly the Tony Stark drones that they confiscated in Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh yeah,
that Mysterio used. Yes. So it's like
love seeing those guys.
You get it all.
So weird that Tony Stark just gave those to a 16-year-old.
He did, and now they're being used to chase a 16-year-old.
Gosh, everything's come full circle.
Tony, come on. See, if only Kamala knew Peter to be like, hey, no one knows Peter. She knew Spider-Man.
Oh, she would lose her mind, but I do feel like they would be friends.
Yes. Hopefully, maybe eventually. I dug this episode. I really, so far, 2 for 2. I haven't seen beyond this, guys, so it could turn crappy next week, but so far I'm feeling pretty confident.
Yeah, I do feel like there was a little bit of unnecessary exposition when they established that every single one of them likes Bon Jovi. They live in Jersey City. Of course they like Bon Jovi. Yes. You're not allowed to live there.
They hit it pretty hard.
Yeah.
The Bon Jovi of it all. Yes.
But they did also say "slippery when wet" again in a Disney Plus show.
Yes. We've got cocaine mentions. We've got innuendo.
We've got the grossest album name of an album that I like. Just mentioned. So good.
This show has it all.
I love Bon Jovi.
All right, guys, we're going to leave it there because where else could he go after Bon Jovi? Those are our thoughts on the second episode of Ms. Marvel. Again, we'll be back next week with a live Obi-Wan video and one more pre-tape of Ms. Marvel. If you look on this very channel, you will see my Ms. Marvel interview and you'll see an Obi-Wan conversation for the 5th episode. What should they look for on the Twitch Fandom channel there?
Well, if you tune into Twitch on Wednesdays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time, me and my co-gaming content producer, Emma Fife, are playing a lot of stuff. We're going to be playing The Quarry this week, which we're pretty excited about. So that should be some fun 80s creature feature, horror, couch co-op nonsense.
These guys are killing it on Twitch, so check that out. Check out our Twitch channel. Check out more on this channel. Check out all the Fandom channels. We'll be back, guys. Thanks a lot.
Bye.